when I first wanted to start writing and teaching about relationships, I remember my coach said to me, like, just leap and the universe will catch you. And I was like, what? Like, that's such fucking bullshit. Like airy fairy bullshit. I can honestly say that was so true. Like this, when I finally said yes, when I finally said, let's do this, when I finally listened to the call of my passions and started writing about relationships, the universe caught me, and it's weird now to sort of look and know that's how it all works. And still not trust it sometimes, right? Like I still don't trust it all the time. Like I'm afraid to let go of things. I'm afraid to become things. I'm afraid of the unfamiliar. But it's like I walk that edge. And one of the things that I want to share is that, previously I did a solo episode talking about that I have these two Instagram accounts. It's Mark Groves and Create the Love. And I talk about similar but different things there. One is more about what's going on psychologically in the world today with, COVID and all the propaganda and all the stuff, and like just all those conversations that I think are important. And also the other one about relational conversations, and really they're the same conversation. One's just like offering more specificity to the circumstances of sort of the health problem, the health challenge that we've had. And so I had this conversation with you where I said, hey, like no longer will I be split. Just in the expression of that, I felt a tremendous sense of being witnessed and relief and all that kind of stuff. And then I said, well, two is going to become one. Basically, It's Mark Groves and Create the Love are going to join and become one. I don't know how that's going to look yet. And, I really wanted to rush to the place where I just did the thing. I wanted the answer before the answer was available. But I knew that telling you or giving you access to, or maybe access is the wrong word, but like informing you about my process and what I'd been hiding. And not even hiding, but like experiencing where I wasn't exposing this whole thought process to Create the Love. Although I was in some doses, it wasn't like explicit. I felt like I was hiding. The other day I was talking to a friend about, he said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know yet, but I know that the answer is making itself available. Like I want to take the step and make the declaration to you in snap of the fingers. It's just there. And I said to him, I want to rush the knowing. And I just had an awareness as I said that to him that you don't get to. Like you don't get to rush the knowing. Like part of the leaping in the universe will catch you is that you have to actually take the leap and then the net appears. You don't get to know that there's a net because then you would be leaping without the courageous trust in what is possible when whatever your word is, God, the universe, Allah, whatever it is, orchestrates itself around courage. And I think there is something magical about that. And there is something about making the declaration that you're willing to take the leap that then allows that you leap and then the net is there. And I don't mean any of this literally, by the way, if you're listening. I had to relax into that truth. That part of the work is actually the being in, I've talked about this on a previous podcast, but like being in the space, allowing what we've requested or we're believing in to be in the abyss, the unknown, to be in the place where the messiness comes together. In Danielle Laporte's new book, she talks about how like there's a point where the caterpillar is just like a sludge, like a messy sludge before it becomes the butterfly. And I think like, you've heard me talk about this before, but if you listen to the podcast regularly, but that we're always every stage of transformation. We're always the caterpillar, we're always the cocoon, and we're always the butterfly because there's always different aspects of us growing and changing and becoming. I have to really continue to know and trust in the knowing that following the feeling, following what's possible, following the call and not getting the answer, but getting the feeling of alignment. It's like when you trust something and you do it, and then you just want like, well, where's the whole fucking road? I want the whole road. And it's like, no, you don't get the road. You get the one paving stone. And then we make that declaration, like, show me the way. I'll walk it. And then we have to walk it. And if we don't walk it, if we ask for that and then it shows up and the way's there and we don't take it, it doesn't mean we've missed the exit like on an interstate. But it does mean we're delaying our becoming. And I think that all of us can understand what I'm saying when I say that there is a cost to the delay. And I think that we can make negotiations about it. Like, I don't know the black and white answers of the universe, but even the idea there is no black and white, it is complexity, right? It's nuance. It's never the wrong time. You know, it's like when someone says to me, I wish I'd found your work 4 years ago and then I wouldn't have had to go through all that. It's like you wouldn't have listened. It's like I wouldn't have listened. And that's almost what makes you qualified to teach whatever it is you want to teach, is you went through the thing. You missed 12 exits and then you finally got off. And then when you got off, you're mad that you missed the 12 exits. Well, you didn't see them. You're so busy on the intentional GPS, you know, of getting to the place or avoiding the pain of the unknown, because taking an exit off the familiar highway of life that everybody's on, you know, get this job, do this, have this opinion, do all these things, vote this way, be this way. And if you're those things, great. You won't get much friction in your life. You might not be connected much to life. You might not feel brought alive by life. But, you know, you won't feel too much criticism. You'll feel belonging, but sometimes that belonging will be at the cost of your silence. You know, it'll be at the cost of your authentic self-expression. And then you get off the highway, sometimes because you have to, and sometimes because you choose to. But you get off and all of a sudden you're like, fuck, the magic's in the untouched part of the world, the untouched part of nature, the untouched part of who we are. I say this to you as I say it to me, is this knowing that you can trust it. And getting off the highway,